Well, ho, 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 and a Merry Christmas to all the holders out there. This is your weekly Jasmy update that I'm coming at you with just before Christmas. So in today's video, we got a lot of updates on some really important things. We're going to be talking a little bit about SecurePC 2.0. We're going to be talking about tax law. We're going to be talking about the holders and the overall market. In the final thoughts of today's video, I'm going to sum it up by talking about the different products that Jasmy is offering and how we not only have these products that are kind of out there in cyberspace, things like an app, but we've also got physical products, right? SecurePC, that's going to be kind of the theme of this one. So, if you enjoyed today's video, as always, make sure to hit the like button. If this is your first time to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And if you click the bell, you'll be made aware whenever I post time-sensitive content just like this. And now, let's get it going. Okay, check, 1, 2, check, 1, 2. And we're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and blast off. What is up, everybody out there? Happy to be with you on this Friday right before Christmas. Hope you all are having a great holiday with friends and family. Wanted to kick off today's post right here with one from Simon Greco. More the merrier, right? 41,000 holders of Jasmy coin. Now, actually, we are even higher than that because this was a little earlier in the week. As of right now, today, Friday, we are at a little over 41,700. So we continue to add holders every single day on this coin. So Mount Jasmy continues to build. Now, moving on up from there, I posted here a retweet from CNBC on a article they did on Bezos, in particular, the head of Amazon. And I noted, good article about taking chances. With the support of his family, Bezos started Amazon when most people didn't know what the internet was. Now, why I think that's relevant to today's video is, the same thing could be said of Jasmy. Most people don't understand blockchain technology. Most people have a hard time kind of seeing, the way technology pivots into the future, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's kind of relevant, especially in the, this crypto market and the crypto winter and all the bearish news and, FUD that kind of circles around politics concerning cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency projects. But really, all of those high profile failure points are all because of centralized individuals. So moving on up from there. Now, this is kind of a funny post. I figured I'd share this just because it's hilarious, because I enjoy jokes. So Elon said that he doesn't have a home, and somebody posted this GIF right here of basically this is what Elon's like. So I found this absolutely hilarious. So it's kind of like, he's fibbing about that one, right? Moving on up. Thought this was a pretty cool little image. Went ahead and retweeted that from Jasmy to the moon. It's basically the moon man building up his Jasmy coins. So pretty awesome. My dad had his 80th birthday this past week. So thank you to everybody who posted some well wishes, got some likes on that one. That was totally awesome. Big thanks all around. A pretty cool one to share a few photos there. Moving on up. This is also really funny. This diamond hands, right? Panic seller. Paper hands. No. It's really funny. So from the poster here, Raiden, right? So buying every dip. Confidence in this team since day one. Thanks for letting me continue to load up. 2026 will be a party. I agree with you. It's going to be pretty amazing. Moving on further from there, we did have a horror sighting. He reposted the Natural Capital Credit Consortium. I actually covered that in last week's video about the carbon credits and how Jasmy is involved. That was a pretty big deal. I highly recommend you checking out my previous video if you want to learn more about that. Now, this was a great post here. So by Payman, right? So final post before leaving Jasmy. So this is really relevant. Now, this is concerning the tax laws in Japan. So it says here on Friday, a member of Japan's government Liberal Democratic Party, the LDP, announced that the LDP's tax committee has endorsed a plan to exclude crypto businesses that issue their own tokens from paying corporation taxes on unrealized profits. Right, that's been a kicker all along. It's been stifling the cryptocurrency blockchain industry slash companies in Japan. So the idea will be included in the yearly tax policy guidelines presented to the country's parliament in January. And the big thing here, it says this is according to Shiozaki, so Secretary General of the party's Web3 project team, will take effect in the following tax year beginning on April 1. Now, the question I have is they don't specify the year, but they just say April 1. And I'm pretty sure that Brian's looked this up before, that the tax year in Japan is a little bit different, like from here in the US. So April 1 is a very big deal in terms of those laws changing in Japan. And why that's relevant is you think about the current Jasmy chart, the way everything's been moving. Well, this could set us on a path to greatness, basically, the moment those laws change. So that's kind of teeing up for, I've been saying all along, I think we could have a rebound maybe this summer. I think that's kind of when all those EMAs sort of come together. And, we'll see what happens. Take it from there, right? Post here from Rob T. So, in the depths of a horrid crypto winter, severe economic headwinds, a hostile SEC, and recession fears, Jasmy added almost 1,000 holders in the last 7 days. That's legit, right? Moving on up, SecurePC. So this is kind of the title of this video, SecurePC 2.0. So we've advanced beyond SecurePC 1, right? So what has changed? So first of all, we have the Ghost Drive capacity that you can select at either 0, 10, or 100 gigabytes. My understanding was they were not able to edit that before. Alerts are based on access, so we can send out and trigger alerts. Status notifications for start, end times, holidays, and working, non-working. So these are kind of like management functionalities, basically, that they've added here. And then they also expanded upon the enhanced user interface. And you can see little kind of small images of that in the thumbnail that I posted. But overall, very big news here for SecurePC 2.0. All right. Moving on up a little bit past that. So Rob T again, 2023 is gearing up to be the year Jasmy goes from a beta idea to an actual product. I agree with you. Prices will go from speculative betting to reflecting a powerful idea embraced by big business and individuals protecting their identities. Enjoy the ride. Spot on. Rob T makes some just awesome points. And why would you expect any less from a teacher? So shout out to Rob T. Great job, man. Yeah, this was kind of funny. So this is just kind of a last couple of little things here to wrap this up. But one of them here, yeah, I don't know if anybody saw it, but SBF somehow, I mean, I don't think I have ever seen anything like this, managed to post a bail of $250 million. $250 million. That is absolutely insane times infinity. Who the hell has $250 million to throw away on bail? That is crazy. And so there have been a lot of posts of this all over CT, aka Twitter. And a lot of the posters are saying, supposedly his parents, put up their house. So like this is kind of what the mainstream media is saying. Oh yeah, his parents put up their house. They don't have a $250 million house, right? Apparently there was one individual somewhere in the background, supposedly, that put up the bulk of this money. But I've also seen a post, I think it was even BitBoy, who posted, something about how all this moved from Sam's wallets or something like that. I don't know if that's accurate or not. So, take that with a grain of sand. But overall, just insanity. I mean, this is the cryptocurrency market where somebody has is charged with 8 counts of fraud, and this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about, all the headwinds that we're facing right now are really due to centralized actors. And what's interesting here that I also read earlier in the week was that what's the girl's name? Elaine. What's her name? I can't think of her name for some reason. I'm drawing a blank. Anyway, the girl that was heading up Alameda on behalf of Sam and his other partner, both of them have turned on him. So that means that both of them cut deals with the government to then testify against him. And so because of that, all of a sudden, he's now posting this bail. And what's even crazier is apparently he would have been put up at the same prison that Jeffrey Epstein was at when he, supposedly hanged himself, right? So absolutely crazy. But the bottom line is SBF and his connections gets him completely out of prison, at least temporarily. Now, with the 8 charges of fraud that he is facing, uh, you know, he still could be going right back to jail, aka prison. So we'll see what happens here. But for somebody to put up that much money in bail is just either, I mean, that's just crazy. I mean, that just means that they have that much money lying around, or they think that they're going to get him out of this, which, hey, he is very, very well connected. So just a crazy, crazy story. Caroline, that's her name. Caroline, not Elaine or Lorraine. Caroline. Caroline's going to testify against him. Okay. So, anyhow, uh, as the world turns, this is part of this current crypto market that's, holding back Jasmy and all these other altcoins, as well as Bitcoin and everything else, is this kind of, bad acting from some centralized parties. Last thing I did want to share here, I want to share this also because I think this is also relevant to Jasmy going on a run. It's very relevant. And again, it always comes back to those Bitcoin pairs. Everything, all the alts, they're always paired with Bitcoin, and it's a double-edged sword. So it's great on the one hand that because they're paired with Bitcoin, Bitcoin takes off, the whole market goes up. But on the other hand, because they're paired with Bitcoin, Bitcoin plummets, the whole market plummets with it, right? And that's what's been happening. And so in this particular image that Plan B posted roughly about 22 hours ago, this is his latest chart on the Bitcoin Relative Strength Index, the RSI, and he shows this as being the weakest RSI for Bitcoin yet. Now, what's telling is, if you kind of look at the way he color codes this, you can basically see where the bottoms are and then how long the bottoms go for, right? So when we kind of get into these blue areas, I mean, that's basically almost a year time frame right there on the first one, right? The second one, yet again, it's kind of like right around a year or so time frame. This one right here in 2019 was probably a little shorter lived, not exactly a year. That one looks like maybe about 4 or 5 months. And in this current one that we're in, at least 6 months, we've kind of been down in the depths with this thing. So could this be turning around very soon? It could. And so, could it be turning around sooner than summer of next year? Definitely, especially when you look at this historical chart. I think there's a lot of truth in these charts, and I think a lot of that plays on market behavior. It's all cyclical. Basically, it's cyclical, and it does repeat because us as humans, we kind of uh, in a group, tend to react the same, right? And that's why all this stuff tends to repeat the way it's going. So, very telling chart here. It says we are in the depths. So, the way I read a chart like this is I read it and I go, okay, so the last 3 times we were in these depths, eventually we had a hell of a run up after that, right? Same thing here. Second one, huge run up. Third one, big time run up. Fourth one, we should have another massive run up after this. So keep an eye on that in particular. I thought it was just a really great post there from Plan B. All right. Now, moving on a little bit more, I did want to take a couple other pit stops here in this week's video. So on Etherscan, here was the current number as of today, 41,704 holders. That's quite substantial in terms of who has the biggest wallet. Well, it's Binance 8. That has a massive, massive wallet, right? Current value on that one, roughly about $41 million. And then it kind of goes down from there between the other exchanges and the deployer wallet, right? Now, lastly, I did want to kind of come over to the chart. I've been seeing a lot of posts lately about the Jasmy chart, and I personally have not talked about it in a video in quite a little while. So I did want to share some of the chart here, what I think is going on for you. Now, right now, we are in this sort of descending wedge that I do think, we will be breaking out of this here soon, this wedge right here. In terms of the stock RSI, we've kind of moved up a little bit, but it looks like we may drop a little bit still within that wedge before we break out. In terms of where we're at down here for the market cipher B, whenever these blue waves kind of bottom out here, that really signifies a bottom. And so, could we then, maybe hit another little bit of a bottom and then take off again? It kind of looks like that. So I do think that we are going to be breaking out of this wedge that's going on up top here, right? So zoomed in a little more. Here's kind of what it's looking like. Now, what I always think is really important are the moving averages. So this big blue line here is the 200-day. That's moving on down. The green one's 50-day, the red one's 20-day. And essentially, the closer those get together, the higher the odds are that our chart switches bullish, which it has not been for a long time, right? This thing's just sort of been descending for a really long time, product to the dilution along with the drop in Bitcoin price, right? But what goes down must come up, and eventually this will all switch around. And so the closer these averages get together, the higher the odds that that changes. Now, I do see us, breaking out from this here. I think that'll happen soon. So, just keep an eye on it. But in terms of the bigger picture for Jasmy, I really, I've said it all along. I don't really find the day-to-day chart very relevant. I think, macro-wise, I'm kind of looking at Jasmy in terms of your KPIs for 2026 and beyond. Something that's funny is that if you follow a lot of influencers in the crypto space and, the people that, all brag about, kind of being around since, I was here in 2010, I was here in 2012, 2014, whatever their number is. The ones that have done well aren't really any kind of great trader. They're not anybody who's using leverage. All these big shiny things that are marketed to us in the crypto market on a daily basis are none of the things that these people have done to build wealth. None of them. The vast majority of them simply bought early. That was it. They bought early and they held on to it. And here they are years later. And that's kind of about it. And so I think when you look at it from a almost like a retirement account perspective of what do you do with a retirement account? Well, you take some money out of your check every week, you put it into the retirement account, and that's about it. And then over time, it builds. And so it really doesn't matter where the market's at. At the end of the day, you're going to have a significant account there. And I think Jasmy is also the same way. That right now where we're at is a combination of a lot of things that have put us into this kind of supreme low where we are. When it breaks out of here, it's going to be significant. Okay. So I do foresee that happening. I think it could happen this summer. Perhaps it could happen even sooner than that, depending on what Bitcoin does. All right. So anyhow, that is it for the bulk of the video here. I wanted to sum up today's video on final thoughts, kind of talking a little bit about SecurePC and how Jasmy has different types of products. If you enjoy the content posted on this channel, don't forget to visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/KIR Finance. Your support means everything. And now, let's get back to the video. All right, so in today's final thoughts, I kind of wanted to talk about the products that Jasmy is offering and kind of what sets it apart here from, some of the competition out there, right? Well, the main thing that Jasmy is selling is platinum data. Platinum data is what they're selling to everybody. Now, the interesting part here is that we're selling platinum data to businesses, and we're doing this, with individuals also. So the premise of Jasmy is data democratization. So when you think of GAFA, right? Google, Amazon, Facebook, Apple, they own a lot of data. They own your data. Well, Jasmy is different in the sense that it wants to compensate you for your data, okay? And with that data, what they can do with that is they apply their edge AI technology. They can get inferences from this data, and then they can go ahead and sell that data to said businesses who would like to purchase it for marketing. I've talked about it before on this channel, this idea of smart marketing. The way that we market today, when you think of something like a radio ad, a television commercial, it's really not very targeted, right? Well, Jasmy changes that. We can have a very targeted marketing for you. And from that, we have different types of products, right? So in today's video, we talked a little bit about SecurePC 2.0 that just came around, right? The second iteration of SecurePC. Now, SecurePC is a partnership with Transcosmos, a huge contact center, aka call center company, a billion-dollar company. From that SecurePC, they have made partnerships with VAIO. This is a physical laptop. So SecurePC is on that. They have a partnership with Avita. These are physical laptops, physical products. There's talk of smartwatches. They've got all kinds of things. There's chips, computer chips, right? There's different ways to go about this in that physical product space. But then at the same time, we also have other products for Jasmy. You think about something like that Nippon travel agency. This is the largest, oldest travel agency in Japan that wants your data. And what they can do, they can apply that edge AI to it, and they could suggest things like, trips to you that you've never even thought of, right? That's basically a digital product here. Recently, with the consortium that was discussed involving the carbon credits, the NCCCP, I want to say was the acronym. In that one in particular, Jasmy's technology is kind of working in the background throughout this whole thing with numerous large-scale businesses, with governments. It is IoT, so Internet of Things, right? So there are all these different kind of uses for Jasmy, whether it's involving autonomous vehicles, whether it's involving computers, whether it's SecurePC, whether it's something like the fan token with Sagan Tosu. So in that case, you're supplying your data through an app, an interface. Jasmy is rewarding you with either Jasmy coin or DD coin, essentially, right? There's all these different use cases. That is an app, though, use case, right? So there was one with another use case with cell cultures, I want to say. There's all kinds of different use cases. And so my point in the final thoughts of this video is that when you look around at cryptocurrency projects, blockchain projects, etc., not all of them have physical products, okay? That's what sets this one apart. Now, some of them do have physical products, and especially in the IoT space. I've seen other currencies that have something like a door monitor, right? So it's a monitor that goes over the door and tracks every time somebody comes in and out of whatever location. I have seen that, but I've never seen anybody else who's got partnerships with computer manufacturers, manufacturing. I think that's one of the things that sets Jasmy apart, is they have some very large manufacturing partnerships. And on VAIO, this is a spin-off from Sony, that is a high-end laptop. Regarding Avita, this is on the lower tier, the more affordable tier, also a laptop. So bottom line here is that Jasmy has so many use cases. We learn about new ones all the time. The carbon credit idea that I talked about last week, that was yet another use case. I'm sure there will be even more as time goes on. And so overall, I thought it was another good week here in a bearish market where we had the update on SecurePC 2.0 and we had the update on the tax law looking at roughly April 1, where tax law could change significantly in Japan, and that's extremely important to Jasmy. So with that, that's it for today's video. Hopefully it was a quick, short one, to the point, and a bit of a Christmas gift for everybody out there. So Merry Christmas to you all. Hope you have a great holiday with friends and family. And that should be it for this one, all right? So if you enjoyed today's video, as always, make sure to hit the like button. Don't forget that I'm also on Twitter. You can find me there. For anybody who wants to support the channel on Patreon, you can check us out on Patreon. And then lastly, for a friendly reminder, this is Jesse with Keeping It Real Finance, the channel that always says your back, tells it like it is, and I will see you after Christmas. Later.